right, you guys. So I have been using Via ever since they sent me that very discreet box in the mail. When I got my box, I was like, what is this? What have I ordered now?
I thought I got a present from somebody. It was a little message.
I knew I did, and I was a little nervous. But when I opened it up, it was just like, it was just like golden rays, sunshine rays, just poking out of the box. There were sample packs of the High on Love, which I have tried. I love. It's aphrodisiacs mixed with THC, CBD. It's like a euphoric experience. But lately, there's two things I really like. Focusing, I always like that. But then also sometimes I find that my mind races at night, whether I'm stressed out or maybe I had too much coffee during the day. But if I take those, maybe the Cloud9 or the Dreams at night, it gives me a nice deep sleep. I'm not oversleeping, but I'm just sleeping deeply. And then the flow state, that one is my absolute favorite. Flow state, it's like grapefruit flavored, if I'm not mistaken, but I take it and it gives me energy and it makes me focus and I can get stuff done. I don't have that like sleepy vibe. I don't have the I can't do anything vibe. It's like, okay, I can get things done. But there's a sense of calm. You know, sometimes if you have too much caffeine, you might feel a little jittery. I don't have that, but I still have the alertness. I love the flow state.
One thing that I love about all of the different Via Hemp types is that it doesn't, sometimes I've noticed with like different gummies that I've tried, I get like this moment of like sadness. It's really weird. Like I think about, I have all these dark thoughts and I've noticed that with this brand, I don't have that with any of the flavors. And that's what's refreshing to me. So if you guys are interested in trying this out or just, you know, switching up where you get your gummies from, make sure you guys head on over to viahemp.com and use the code CockTales, COCKTALES, to receive 15% off and get one free sample on any order.
Yeah, check 1 2, check 1 2. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Hey, listen, man, it's the one and only trendsetter DJ Sense, and you're listening to CockTales, dirty discussions with Kiki and Medinah Monroe. Yeah.
Today's cocktail is just a glass of rosé. We're keeping it simple this week.
Yes, well, cheers. I love a good rosé.
Cheers.
Cheers. And cheers to you too. So welcome back to CockTales Dirty Discussions, you guys.
Hey, y'all.
It's another week of more shenanigans. We do have a special guest, but I just want to remind you all to check the description box. I've put links in the description box for everything that we have going on, along with dates, links, emails, all that good stuff is down there. Check it out.
Yes, I want to remind everybody that Paradise and Vibe is doing consultations now. If you have some questions about the trip, you can go to paradiseandvibe.com and book a 20-minute consultation.
Okay, so without further ado, this week we have a very special guest. I think that a lot of you all will appreciate her based on the advice letters we've gotten in the past and the struggles that I know me and y'all are going through. We have Jennifer, a matchmaker. Welcome.
Thank you.
I have been wanting to have a matchmaker on the show for I don't know how long.
Yeah.
And for some reason, people don't be replying to emails, but I'm so glad that you're here this week.
Me too. Who didn't reply?
A lot of people.
There's a list.
It doesn't matter.
We won't talk about that.
Everybody knows.
So you are with One-on-One.
One-on-one matchmaking. It's the matchmakers in Buckhead. If y'all ever like drive into the city, it's the one you see on the street.
So y'all connected people to the rich bin.
Which yells, we try to. Yep. Yeah, that's what I tell people. I'm like, matchmaking is like dating within a country club. You know, they're not broke, and they probably want to be in a relationship. So
I would hope
that's
weren't
why I hired
wasting
a
their
matchmaker.
money.
We have so many questions, but before we get to the questions, we're going to move on to the weird sex segment.
Yes, I love it.
Okay, so
You said a man is not a necessity, a man is a luxury.
Like dessert.
Yeah.
Man is absolutely not necessity.
Did you mean that to sound mean and bitter?
Oh, not at all. I adore dessert. I love men. I think men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to live.
Okay, so this week's weird sex, an injury. I don't know what's wrong with me, why I'm so fascinated.
It's been like a month straight of broken dicks.
Well, nobody is telling about fun, kinky things, so all I have are injuries. So I'm just giving you guys cautionary tales, and I appreciate everybody sending those to me. So this one, this one's a little different. Somebody was cutting up. So a Ukrainian man, this was obviously a while ago, but a Ukrainian man woke up in pain after discovering that his wife screwed a metal nut on his penis to prevent his cheating ways. Basically, she made a chastity belt for him. Ooh. And he had been cheating on her real bad, and she got fed up. And instead of leaving him, which is what we'd probably advise you to do, she decided to take matters into her own hands and become a handyman and do this. So Metro UK reports that the unidentified man tried to remove the makeshift chastity belt before he called for an ambulance and was transported to a hospital in a city I can't pronounce. Doctors tried to remove the metal bolt but were unsuccessful, so a rescue team was called in to help remove the object. And then somebody came in and their team who were trained to remove objects under similar circumstances, which ordinarily I'd be like, what are the similar circumstances? But the amount of times I've shared a story about somebody sticking something up their penis, up their asshole, down their throat, in their stomach, around their vagina, all of that, yeah, you need a special team. Anyway, he was lying on the surgical table. They had to put him under anesthesia and they cut the object off. So he's okay. It happens a lot. They said rings, handcuffs, and other objects get cut off of people's bodies all the time. So it wasn't a big deal. And they saved his penis. So he can still have children and still use it, hopefully just with his wife and not the rest of the women in the Ukraine and nearby countries. So y'all keep your penises together in your pants and in your relationship before somebody screws some shit on there that you're going to have to call a special team to cut off.
How did she screw it on there without him waking up? People
you know what? He's
sleeping
probably drunk.
hard.
He was probably drunk.
Oh.
Because if I've been in a bed with somebody who was dead to the bed and they were drunk, and I think that's probably it, or drugs.
Oh, yeah. We'll never know.
So if you guys see more weird sex stories that you want to share, send them to my DMs, or you can email them to me, weirdsex@cocktailspod.com. There's an event coming up. It is the Worst Behavior Tour's adult prom. It's going to be at the Fox Theater on August 26th. If you go to WBTprom.com or just click the link in our description box. They have tickets available. They have a weekend full of events, but if you just want to go to the prom, you can do that too.
If you missed your prom,
that's a great time to go.
If you want a reason to dress up, I always tell the ladies is if you're looking for a good date night to plan for your man and you never plan a date, this is a great opportunity.
Yeah, it's something different. You guys check it out. And then also, if you go, or if you can't make it to this, but you're still looking to meet new friends, meet new people, maybe some very adventurous people.
Maybe us.
Maybe you should head on down to Jamaica.
Yeah, the Winter Blackout Hedonism Part 2 is being put on by the Worst Behavior Tour, y'all. December 9th to December 14th, and it's going to be fun.
If you go to www.worstbehaviortour.com, you can purchase your tickets. The resort is all inclusive. If you don't know anything about hedonism, let me just tell you, that's where Stella got her groove back. So some of you who are typing an advice letter right now as you're listening, maybe just stop, backspace, Control Alt Delete, and just type in worstbehaviortour.com and book your stay.
Some of you who are like, dang, I really want to have a threesome, but I don't know how. I don't know what environment I should be in. This is literally that type of opportunity in space.
And in case you're wondering, this is like black and brown.
Oh, that's a good thing to put
because
out there.
I know that a lot of people are like, oh, I've heard about this place, but everybody says you need to go when we're there. Just to be clear, these are black and brown people. I mean, there's other people there too, and other people are welcome. But it's predominantly brown and black. So,
are you going to bring somebody?
You're going to have to come on a tour and see.
Jennifer, before we dive into the topics, we're going to play a quick little round of I'm Curious to Know.
Okay.
That is a card game created by Kiki Said So and Medinah Monroe. If you guys want to purchase it, go to I'mCuriousToKnow.com and get it now.
Okay.
Oh, I got a good one. I didn't even shuffle.
Okay.
Jennifer, I'm curious to know, how would you describe your head game? That was the very first one. You said I always give you the sex ones.
I always get the sex
out.
ones.
So, like, how I am at giving head?
Yeah.
My not good enough. Like when I listen to y'all, I was like, I'm coming here to learn. You know what I'm saying? Not to share. One time I had a boyfriend that broke up with me because I described giving head as making a sandwich for him. Like making a sandwich. Like I'll do it, but I don't always feel like it. And he was like, you should want to do it. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't really enjoy it.
I enjoy it if I'm horny and if I'm drinking.
Oh,
drinking and horny, ideally.
Yeah.
But I've never swallowed. Is that
really?
bad?
I haven't either,
think
girl.
it's bad.
I don't like
really?
it.
Okay.
I do not like it.
I thought it made me like, like, I don't know, not slutty enough, not cool enough. But it just sounds gross. I don't want it.
It is.
I like
feels
it
gross.
sometimes, and then sometimes I don't. It's like I go through phases. Like there was a moment where, sadly, I really, really enjoyed it. Probably too much, and it's just like a little vacuum cleaner, And then it's just like, I don't know, one day maybe it got too cold and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? And why am I doing it? Doesn't even taste good.
Like
Looks like
mucus.
ice cream, but doesn't taste like ice cream. Tastes like boogers. I don't like this. So it just depends.
I think that kind of smells sweaty. I mean,
What type of ice cream are you eating?
Well, it looks like melted ice cream sometimes. I mean, it's dark. It's just milky and,
I don't
gooey.
ever even take it to where they do that. I always look at it as like a warm up, like an appetizer. I'm gonna do this so you get excited, and then we can go ahead with things. That's what I'm saying. I guess I'm not that good at it because I don't.
You probably are.
Well, I mean, I just don't. Do we have to finish? Because then what do I get?
Oh, he doesn't have to finish. No.
What do I get?
You're
if
not
I
gonna
let
finish
you
if I'm
finish?
sucking
Oh,
your dick.
yeah.
Right? Like I get nothing. It's like a little teaser, right?
Yeah.
So I guess
like foreplay.
yeah, that's how I look at it. But I don't know if that's normal. What do you
I
think?
think
don't
it's
know
normal.
either.
You don't know?
Because most people.
Do you look at it like
say
foreplay,
that.
or does sometimes it's like here, you get your treat?
I mean,
I definitely got to get something out of this. I swallowing or not.
Well, I mean, but like, if he came, it's going to be a while.
There's things he can do. His mouth is still working. I don't care if that thing turned into a gummy worm.
Yeah.
I'll cock those legs up and you get to work.
How do you feel, Medina? You're okay?
If he doesn't come, you're not coming if I'm sucking your dick. That's not my motive.
That's not my motive either. Okay. So
it's
all right.
fine.
So I'm good. All right. I thought I was like, maybe I'm bad at it. But that's never just like a warm up for me.
Okay, I have a question. What do you consider cheating?
Gosh. You know what? This is kind of weird to say. So y'all gave me the juice already. I don't worry. I feel like if in my relationship, if anybody ever cheated, it'd be me because I'm so crazy.
Oh.
And my husband is such a good, solid dude. So, but I would consider like emotional cheating probably worse than sex.
Like he can't have a work
honestly,
wife.
I think if he had like sex with like a stray, I'd be like,
A stray.
do you want to get laid more? Because we could do that.
we can switch things up.
I had no idea. But if it was an emotional connection, I would be more upset. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I'm all crazy. He plays video games, and I was like, man, this girl's cute. Like I'm crazy. Like him getting attached to.
You're getting to know someone?
Well, yeah. I don't know. I'm just saying. Like I think
don't like that
emotional cheating is worse. But having sex, I mean, yeah, anything.
Okay.
Sexual cheating.
Here's my last one. I'm curious to know, Jennifer, how do you feel about traditional gender roles in a relationship?
Gosh. So, yeah, I'm 47, older than y'all. But I do not have a traditional relationship, and I don't think that I would have done well in one. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't necessarily planned. But I'm the breadwinner. I'll earn my husband, and he does a lot more with the kids, and he cooks, and he's good at it. And I wouldn't have done well in that kind of relationship. And one of the things that I think that women are not considering that are younger is that they can, I'm not saying he needs to be broke, okay? But like, women are doing so well, especially the women that come to see me and y'all, like, they're making over $250K and they think they need a dude to out earn them. Mm-hmm. They really don't. Like, what if they had that dude cook for them? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Some of the work away.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, what if they picked him up? Or what if they're just like a sweet dude as long as he's not a total dog? Mm-hmm. See, the guy that out earns you once you make over $250 or something, he's gonna want you to do shit he wants to do, probably, and be the boss. and you're the boss. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I felt about it.
You like
So,
being the boss. You don't want any lit.
I think
back.
that I could have not been the boss. I mean, you know, like if he died or something, I would be down with taking a risk, dude. I mean, I'm not like opposed to it, but I'm just saying that like, I think that you can be happy being an alpha female in a relationship as long as you respect the guy. Like I don't run all over my husband. He wouldn't let me do that. You know what I mean? Like he still is alpha, just kind of in a loner sort of way. Or you can date that very successful guy. But I do think that, actually, I really like traditional gender roles. But I think that a lot of times when you're dating this very successful alpha man, there's strings along with that. Like my friends that married that guy, they want them to cook. And these are like badass bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not going home to cook. So I just think that there's sometimes strings along with it. That's all I'm saying.
You did what works
But
for
That
you.
makes sense.
Yeah, but I like it. I mean, I like a man paying and, you know, taking the lead for sure. Yeah.
I feel you on that. Okay. How do you feel about, this is my last one too. How do you feel about open relationships?
Oh, yeah. That's where I'm just too old.
You're like not doing it.
I don't get it.
What
Like,
is going on out here?
I'm a crazy bitch. I'd be like, you liked your big boobies, didn't you? Yeah, because I don't have those boobies. Do you want me to get fat? I could not do it. I'm too jealous. Yeah, I couldn't do it. This is where I think maybe there's a difference. Like, I hear y'all talking about threesomes and stuff, and I'm like, maybe I could do it for a night if I didn't know the girl, but like
Like it's
an
not
open relationship.
Well, when I talk about threesomes, it's not like we're all in a relationship. It's like,
yeah,
oh,
it's
we're
a
fucking this bitch
stray
and she can
one
go.
night. That's it.
Or it could be a friend, but you
I
still
love
gotta
how
go.
you called the people astray.
Yeah, no, but like a girl that you see all the time, I get
Yeah.
you crazy. Y'all wouldn't get crazy.
It depends. There's lots of ways that it could go that way, but I think that I don't get crazy because it's usually my idea. Usually,
Yeah.
So like I don't mind.
What about you, Medina? Could you be in an open relationship?
Well, not the open relationship.
Yeah.
I was just talking about a threesome.
Immediately. No, I can't do an open
Yeah, oh,
relationship.
yeah.
I tried it, and I
Yeah.
it wasn't my original relationship. I was dating a married couple, and that alone, I wasn't supposed to have so much responsibility in the relationship, and it ended up just being, I realized humans and their emotions,
Yeah.
you start adding too much into the pot, people really can't handle that, in my experience. I
Yeah.
will never do that again. A threesome every now and again, and back then I used to be like, yeah, I'll do it all the time. Now, with the person that I'm with, I love him so much, I really don't want to share. But
Yeah.
if we were out somewhere and maybe it was just the right moment, the right time, the right person, I'm not opposed to it, but
Yeah.
I'm not looking for it.
Yeah, me too. Like if we were on vacation and it got crazy and I never had to see her again, I could be cool with it.
And it's just all it's how a threesome in my mind is perfect. It's just, she comes up to us, she's flirting with me more
Yeah,
than
it's
she's flirting
straight.
him. But
Like
if
a
she
one night
flirts-
stand, but with your man and the stray.
Yeah, the stray.
yeah,
The
I can look at
stray.
this stray.
Yeah, I think that open relationships, they seem fun, but I think I would just talk shit about it. It could be sexual, like how you said you would be more upset about the emotional connection. Like we don't need to like be keeping this girl
Right.
around and going doing real stuff together. No.
Yeah, but also just her body too. I'd be like, she's got big boobs. She got this thing that I don't
Well, I
have,
want her
and
to
you're
look
into
good,
that.
look
you know
better
what I
than
mean?
me. Actually, I don't mind. You should look like me or better. Because I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Also, it depends on how healthy our relationship is at the moment. You know how you go through ups
yeah,
and
that makes
downs.
sense.
If we're in a down moment, I wish you would come.
We're not talking about this because we're not even right.
Yeah.
And you about to embarrass me in front of the stray? Like, no.
the stray needs to leave. Okay, Jennifer. Oh, I'm so excited to ask you all of these questions. Okay.
Okay.
What is the role of a matchmaker for real?
I think of myself a little bit like a real estate agent, which is so weird, but basically like I'm marketing these people. You know what I'm saying? Like
Your clients.
I'm taking this guy who is, let's say, a total dork and, now making him interesting, genius-like, but he's a dork. You know
But
what I'm
do
saying?
you have to like stage him? Like they stage the houses. Like you got to talk to him. Like, okay, we need to fix this, and you might need to get a haircut.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's like I'm pulling out the best and brightest about them. Like, let's say it's a short dude. No, people don't like that. You know what I
And
mean?
you say that.
But I'm happy to be like, this dude's got swagger. I wouldn't normally have sex with a short dude, but he's got it going on. And he's successful, and he's smart, and he's cool, and he's interesting, and he wears those Warby Parker glasses, and he knows what's up. And you should go out with him. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, if that guy's online dating, nobody gives him a shot because they're weeding him out because of the height. So a lot of it is just really marketing the client and like knowing how to pitch them.
You're their hype man.
Yeah, I'm their hype man, and you do it differently for different people because you know what that person likes, right?
Yeah.
So like a real estate agent, if she was showing a house, she'd be like, check out this back porch. You're gonna love this big bedroom and this walk-in shower kind of thing, right? So a lot of it is that. And then a lot of it for just really successful people is coordinating. They lead busy lives like y'all, you're going everywhere all the time, right? Yeah. So it's just like, you want to go with this guy, you can go the 17th. I made reservations, you're at Barcelona, you're going to drinks and apps. Like getting it done, whereas like there's a lot of riffraff on the internet. You know what I'm saying? To weed through just to talk.
Because I was going to ask you like how online dating has affected the business of matchmaking. Do you find that you're getting better quality people because the other people are getting weeded out and just trying to use an app, or does it even matter?
I mean, maybe I'm drinking from the Kool-Aid, but this is the way I have to see it, right? To I feel like online dating is for people that are not successful enough to hire a matchmaker. Like, why would you do all that shit by yourself?
Oh, I see what you're like. They don't have the money.
And a lot of times I also feel like it's a hookup thing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the people
serious.
that hire matchmakers, they might have a trainer, a chef, you know what I mean, a stylist. This isn't like, they just don't have time to go back and forth with the scheduling of it all.
Oh,
right?
so you're dealing with what the ladies from Poor Minds would call a BDB. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's a big dick baller. And even if they don't have a big dick, you gonna sell it like he's got a big dick. He doesn't have a big dick, but he has a big house that you can go live in.
Yeah.
So, okay. What? I'm sure that there are like qualifications for somebody to be able to hire
be a
you.
client.
Because let's say they do have the money, but I
They're
don't know.
lame or disrespectful.
What are the qualifications for you to take somebody on? What are the questions you ask them?
Two tangents. First of all, I have no idea if this is appropriate because I'm old, I'm in my neighborhood or whatever. But like, we don't have enough high-end African-American clients, and we're starting to get them, which is one of the reasons I was excited to be here.
I'm happy you said that.
Me too.
But every year it grows, so I'd like to grow that. I mean, because I've had awesome clients that I couldn't find matches for, and I'm like, what the hell? This person's awesome. Anyway, your question was what now?
What are the qualifications?
To be a client.
I really just have a
But
conversation.
I want to go back to the African American being lacking in the matchmaking community.
Qualifications. I really just have a conversation with them to see if they don't sound like an idiot, and if I have a few matches for them.
So you don't need their bank account information?
No, I can tell.
But then I also wonder too.
Where do you live? What do you do?
To be my friend.
Right? Do y'all do like, because I get obsessed with true crime stuff. I watch
me too.
ID.
Yeah, I miss it.
Do y'all do like psych evals and background checks on the clients once you take them on?
No, we don't. No, we've done.
That's your responsibility as a dater.
Yeah,
to
for
do
sure.
your own due diligence.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this: most matchmakers don't do background checks, and I've been a matchmaker for 19 or 20 years, and I go to these matchmaking conferences. Most of the time, if they say they're doing background checks, they're really running your credit to see if you have enough money to be a client.
That's all they care about. They're like, look, the girls want rich men.
Okay.
But like, sometimes I'm like, this dude is sketchy, and we've randomly read a background check. You know what I mean? Like, I heard that
Like
he
if you
hit
get
somebody or whatever, and then we ran it. Like, we do that. Randomly run them. And we kick them out if they've misrepresented themselves, like been married or something like that. Like, they find out they were...
Oh, that's
We
good.
kick them out.
Does that
You know what I
happen
mean?
often?
No, only like once a year.
Okay.
Once a year, somebody does something pretty shady.
And when you kick them out, do they come back like, hey, what happened?
No.
Or it's blocked
I
from
write them
everything?
a letter, and I'm like, you know how you sent this girl that you went out with, that you were happily married, a screenshot that I set you up with? Here's a screenshot. I will no longer be setting you up, and something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like, I've told you not to call these girls. That girl said she wasn't interested, and you keep texting her. It's 2:44 in the morning, and I have a screenshot of it. And if you keep doing, I'm going to kick you out. And then they do something else again. I'm like, hey, it's just not working. I'm getting complaints about you, and
That
make
is
yourself look bad.
embarrassing. You got
Yeah.
banned from matchmaking.
And it's like, you were paying me and I still don't fuck with you. You gotta go.
Yeah, well, it's something written in our behavioral agreement. They signed a
Yeah.
behavioral agreement.
And then it's like, I can't set you up with anybody because you are crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
How do you become a matchmaker? That's something I've always wondered. And like, because some people make it to, what's the lady who did Millionaire Matchmaker? She made it
Yeah.
to the heights of like matchmaking that I didn't
Yeah.
even know existed until I knew about her. But what are the steps?
Yeah. Okay. Can I go back to this about safety? Because now I'm dealing with like this neuropsychologist that I know that's creating safety apps and stuff. And it's something like 2 out of every 5 women have been sexually abused or physically abused. And so you really do need to run a background check on anybody you've been out on a few dates with. And just because they haven't been arrested yet doesn't mean they're not going to get crazy.
That's
so
true.
you really got to you got to take care of yourself.
Especially
you know what I mean?
if you are utilizing the dating apps like frequently. I mean, even
dating
once.
apps, dating services. You need to have your
Anything. If
friends
you're
meet
dating,
them. Yeah,
need to-
you need to make sure they're not crazy. A lot of crazy people out there. Anyway, okay. How do you become a matchmaker? This road was so different for me. I mean, I use matchmakers, but it's gaining popularity. Like they have big conferences for matchmakers in New York, and it's kind of like these two conferences. One goes to the Bahamas every year, and one goes to New York every year. And yeah, it's growing in popularity. There's date coaches, matchmakers. Y'all could easily be a date coach, but you don't need another.
Oh, not
you
me.
got enough.
So you don't need like some sort of certification. You can, as long
You can
as
get a certification.
Okay.
But it would be like, to me, at this point, because I could get a certification. Like if somebody said there was a certification you could get in podcasting, you'd be like, okay, I don't
Like I've been doing this
You
for
know, like,
I know what I'm
years.
doing.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
really,
yeah.
you just need to know how to
Match people.
match people and look for, I guess, certain compatibility signs within
Yeah.
two people you know. Like, how did you get into it? Did you just start hooking your friends up?
No, I just think you need to listen. I think so much about life is just paying attention. You know what I mean? But I became a matchmaker. I hired a matchmaker when I was 24 and I just moved to the city. I didn't know anybody. My brother said my sisters wanted to just say no shirt. You cannot date my sister. And so I was like, I'm going to go, they were
professional
creative
help.
loafing. Y'all even know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, they had an ad back in the day and I was like, I'm going to do this. And I did it and I had a great time. And I said, y'all should hire me. I'd be great at this. And I basically nagged that woman until I worked there.
Wow.
And I did it in my 20s, and then I left because I was like a dum-dum. I didn't know anything about business. And then I came back to it because it was
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, it's funny.
I heard about It's Just Lunch, and I heard about one-on-one matchmaking when I first moved to Atlanta.
Really?
I was 22 when I first moved here, and I was working at a holding company. I was around a lot of rich people every day, and I loved it. But most of them were married, and somebody there had used the service to meet their wife, and he was like, you always have these conversations at work about dating. Have you ever thought about a matchmaking service? I said, I'm working at the front desk. That sounds expensive. And so he was like, they have a cheaper I mean, it was still too expensive for me at 22, but
you should have said, you need to
it was
sponsor me. You're
right,
very
but then that might have been
interesting.
weird. But he was like, they have something if you're under 30. And it's funny because my uncle and now aunt, they got married using a matchmaking service a couple of years
Which
ago.
one?
It's Just Lunch.
Oh, yeah. That's not
Yeah,
okay.
and they're
told
in
me that.
they're in LA, and they're still married. And I mean, it's only been a couple years, but I'm like, that's really cool. And we never knew they dated for a long time. And I'm like, what made you go to a matchmaker? And she was like, I didn't have the time. That's what his wife said, and he said the same thing. Workaholic.
Yeah.
Very successful, but a workaholic.
Yeah, just didn't have the time.
So what's something that you think when you're talking to people and having these conversations, prospective clients, what have you learned is something that people overlook when they are considering compatibility with a partner that you are really good at helping them say, you're skipping over this important thing?
I think that for women, a lot of times attraction can grow. Have you had it grow? Mm-hmm. Have you had it grow?
Yes.
All the time.
Yeah. So I think that a lot of times women are like, I just wasn't feeling it. And I'm like, give it a shot. He's, not
Had some
that
good
bad. And he's
qualities.
loaded and he digs you. I mean, just go on another date. You know what I mean? So I think women are too easy to like say they don't feel chemistry. That is a difference, I think, between men and women. I think basically a woman walks in and he's like, could I do her? Maybe. You know what I mean? Or yes. And then like, I don't think that can grow.
What
for the
about
man.
what about for the male clients that you have? Is there something that you feel like they overlook? Or is it still a physical thing? Like you need to
Yeah,
stop
I think
worrying about that.
I think they put way too much stock in looks. You know what I mean? Like it's all about like, did they find her attractive way too much? You know what I mean? They should go out with the maybes more. Like maybe I could do her. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I could.
Like, are you grossed out, or could you see yourself?
Or is it just like, I
always
was like,
so if she
goddamn.
threw you up against the wall and you had 2 drinks and tried to make out with you, you'd be like, get off me.
Right.
And if the answer is maybe, then maybe you need to go out with her again.
Right.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not, am I right?
Yeah.
There's a dude here.
Yeah.
Is it, could it be that way? Right? Like, there's some girls you're just like, hell no.
Yeah.
But then, and there's some girls like, hell yeah. And then you're like, maybe.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
But-
what maybes might get
But
you
y'all
sometimes.
don't call
They'll
the
sneak up
maybes
on you.
again. Right?
It's almost like when
you don't
you're
really call the
around
maybe
people
girl
that you
again.
didn't know. You've
You
been
let it
around
go.
them multiple times.
Yeah.
And then maybe the 5th or 6th time, or maybe it's even just a different year, and you're like, I never really noticed you are actually kind of attractive, or you're cute.
Yeah.
Do you have more male clients or female?
In the matchmaking side, more
Males, I'm gonna assume.
No. In the matchmaking side, it's pretty even. If anything, it's slightly more males. In all dating services I've worked for, and I've worked for 4 or 5, they get about, in different places too, they get about 5 to 7 more women than men. I just think women talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, dudes are not like, you gotta go check out my matchmaker. I mean, like, they don't do that shit.
And have you found it that, like, obviously the normal thing to talk about is a woman wanting a man with money.
Yeah.
But is it ever like the man is loaded, he has all this money and he's an easy sell, but is he also like, well, I want my girl she needs to possess the same things that I do?
What I've had a little bit of recently, and by a little bit, I mean like 10% of the crowd, is they want a woman who could pay their way, right? Like, they're tired of like buying all the trips and buying everything. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want to feel like it's a transactional relationship. So they're like, we could say do the coolest things in the world as long as she could get a little bit of it or even a third.
You know, sometimes
They're
it's
looking for
really
an equal
interesting
that way.
with how a lot of the times men say that. And I think I've kind of learned how to like play the game for me. It's really interesting how men will be like, the men that you're talking about where they're like, I don't want somebody. I want her to be able to pay her way and I want her to be able to take care of some of the trips.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get someone who is offering and doing all those things, they actually don't want it. It's almost like
They just want to see if you will.
they just
that you're
want
not
you to
using
off.
them.
Yeah, this is cheat code for all the ladies out there. Really, honestly, and truly, what I have
offer.
learned,
Yeah.
the men just want you to say, I'm gonna get it this time. And then they're all of a sudden they're like, no. Why do you think I would let you do
They want to feel like you like them.
Yeah.
And it's not just you're after them for the shit they can do.
Especially these days, because it is like we see so many conversations. No matter what's really happening, the internet is alive and well, and you see clips and you see conversations and you see all this stuff about women who, I want a man who has the money, and if he doesn't have it, he's not worth anything, all these things. So I get it.
I get it too.
Yeah. And meanwhile, like, it's like, but they really want him to have more money than they do. And they already make $250 or more. And I'm like, so you're looking at the 1% who's got to have swagger, who's got to be tall. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got all the shit. And like, you just narrowed your pool down too much.
Will you guys accept, I don't know a professional way to say this, a broke woman? Like if she's like, I want to be, she's not, I don't know what to call it. There's the people that hire you to match them. And then there's the people that are in the group of they're the matchable ones.
Yeah,
gotta
but
be
I'm
a
weird
super
about
bad
that.
bitch.
I'm weird about that because I'm cocky and I paid for a matchmaker. I'm like, gotta be cuter than me. Gotta be cute. Are you? Oh, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, they gotta be like really cool. They gotta be hot and really cool and not bitchy. And yes, then I would set them up. And then I have some dudes that like pay a lot of money and they have this very specific type. Like I have this one guy that will pay $5,000 for a match.
Wow.
So,
One match?
Yes. So anyway, so it's sometimes, but I hardly ever do it with dudes, and I have dudes ask me that because I'm like, no, dude, that's one way I am gender. Like, no, dudes got to pay. You know what I'm saying? In some way, you got to pay for something. Where I would probably take on a girl, like if a hot special ed teacher, hell yeah, you got a hot special ed teacher. I'm gonna set her up.
It's
You know
so
what I'm saying?
funny that she was like, I'm like a realtor. You're like a pimp.
A little bit, yeah, I
a
know.
little bit of both.
Yeah.
So wait, dang, I lost my train of thought just that quick.
We got a lot
the
of questions.
clients. So have you ever had like a really weird request when somebody's like describing what they want or their type, and
Yeah.
you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, often.
What
Because
kind of things do they request?
Okay, this happens every now and then, like once a year. No, they'll just tell me, well, this isn't even a weird request. They'll just be like, I have an STD. Can you tell people? I'm like, nope. No, I cannot. Wish I didn't know.
When you're having these types of conversations, do y'all go to dinner and meet in person, or this is on FaceTime, this is on a Google call?
This is on a call. Yeah, they'll just call me. A weird request, no, not fetishes really.
least they
They'll just
want
be
people
like,
to know.
I like big boobs. I don't like fake boobs, and just comes up out
stuff
of
like
nowhere.
that.
And I'm
So
like,
you think
no,
gotta
babe.
ask the people like, hey, everybody who doesn't have fake boobs, sign in.
No. I don't go that much.
Okay.
But no. I wouldn't say that to a girl. I usually don't. It just depends on who the girl is. But no, I mean, but I don't get the fetish stuff.
Okay, good.
Are there different strategies you use or matchmakers use to determine the compatibility?
Some matchmakers do like personality test, you know? And I like this personality test called the Enneagram. Have you ever heard of it?
The what?
Enneagram. You got to take it.
Ennea.
Let me write a little
Enneagram.
note.
Y'all Google it.
I-N-
ENNEGRAM. And what I like about it is there's 9 different numbers. You know, most personality tests, analyzed your personality. This personality test, and if y'all like it, I know people that come on the show and talk about it, but anyway, you can understand what the different personality types are because it's just 9, right? And then how your personality might impact somebody else's. So like I studied that, and sometimes I'll say you're a 4 on the Enneagram, aren't you? And then I'll like kind of know how they're going to be because of it, but it wasn't like a conscious thing. I mean, some matchmakers do this personality thing, but I really don't. I really go with background in terms of like you're trying to match similar people, or socioeconomic level of the family that they were raised in, that you're taking that into account, education level of the family, right? And then and just values, and then hobbies and interests, right? So it's more of a practical approach.
And you can tell that within one conversation?
No, yeah, and I bring them in for an hour interview. If they're at least an hour interview, if they're going to do matchmaking. Yeah, but yeah, I've gotten good. I mean, I've been doing it 19, 20 years.
Have you gotten a take on me and Kiki's personalities since you've been sitting with us? Like, do you have an ideal person you would match us with? I mean, I'm not available, but if I was.
I gotta talk more because
you're more
baby,
traditional. You're more traditional than she is.
Really? What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I've listened to podcasts some.
Yeah, you definitely are.
She a freak. yeah. So I don't.
And I don't like to be tamed. So,
I wanted to ask you, how do you, when you're doing these interviews, how do you know, like you specifically, how do you know when somebody's really serious, aside from spending the money,
Or toxic.
or they're serious and they want to date and see, or like this is a good person that's gonna make somebody a great husband or wife.
Well, I mean, so that's some of the tough stuff about matchmaking is because I'm dealing with wealth. I think a lot of wealthy people are narcissists. They own businesses, they're super successful, and they're really good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're
really good people.
No, they just really good at snowing me over, right? So like, I might think they're amazing, and then I'm like, here's
The girl calls.
She's like Jennifer.
no, but you watch them date, right? And you're like,
they're usually very charming.
Yeah, they're usually very charming, and they'll be like, but they think they're my friend or something, so they'll tell me they just slept with Jenny, and who else do I have? And I'm like, what?
And do you have to get rid of them when they do that?
No, I'll just have to be like,
You
does
have to match
Jenny
them
know
with
you're
a
going
hoe.
out with other people? You know what I'm saying?
Because Jenny's my
And
client.
then if
She's
Jenny
my
doesn't
client.
know, do you tell Jenny? Because now I'm looking
No,
at
I just
dogs.
get it straight. Like, I let him know that he can't be a dog. Because I feel like, like they think I'm their friend. Then I kind of am their friend, but like they can't be a total dog.
Have you ever
Walmart.
had them be like, well, can I take you out?
No, because I'm married, and I think they're not. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, that's sad.
They know
right?
better.
I kind of wish one of them would just
to
so I
make
know
sure
I
you
still
still
got
got
it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Thought about getting a boob job just because I don't get it. I don't know.
I love my titties. Get them done, girl. Do you talk to people about their dating patterns or their past relationships, and are you able to point out some negative dating patterns that they have to change in order to go on a date with you? You?
Well, like, I can tell by the way they fill out their profile. You know what I mean? Like, they'll write tall, dark, and handsome and wealthy. You know what I mean? And they'll tell me they're looking to get married and they're 37 and they want kids. And I'm like, do you want to date a hot dude or do you want to get knocked up and have a baby? You know what I'm saying? Because
I
it
get what
looks
you're
like you want to date a hot dude because you wrote tall, dark, and handsome. And like, that's not like what you should be looking for when you think about a husband. You know what I mean? So yeah,
That's not personality traits. That's all physical.
Yeah, you can just tell based on patterns, right? You know?
Speaking of tall, dark, and handsome, you mentioned that like the African American community the Black people aren't really signing up for one-on-one matchmakers, and you said you're starting to see a little bit of interest. Are you seeing interest from the Black man side or Black women? And who making more money? Is it rich Black women?
Both. And what's interesting is like, we don't, we get a lot of flack because we don't have enough Black presence or whatever. I mean, we had a Black
matchmaker.
A Black matchmaker. Yeah, a few years ago. And, I refer business to other Black matchmakers, but I feel like I work harder than they do, if I'm honest. And I feel like we have more, we advertise a lot, so we get a lot of people. So yeah, we need to grow that community. And it's frustrating. For years and years, I had all these Black women coming to me. And then I turned them all away.
Black women who are looking for successful Black men.
Yes, for years and years, or just a good Black dude. And then I turned them away because I didn't have enough. And now I'm getting Black men. and I can't find the women lately. And I'm wondering if it's because we turn them away so
Do
much.
you ladies hear this?
Yeah.
Oh, she's got some clients.
Y'all keep saying, where do
on
we
one
find
side.
them?
But it gets a little complicated because sometimes, like, I feel like people will come to us and they'll be like, I want to date a white girl, but I never have. Because we're all white, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, we look racist, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Do you turn, when people come and they're like, I want to date this race, no matter who it is, are you like, we're not moving like that? No. Or are you guys like, well, if you got enough money, come on.
Yeah, the race thing gets sticky. I mean, first of all, they pay thousands of dollars. They can have a preference, right? But I really wish that it was more open in terms of race because I feel like they don't know what they don't know, right? And this is the way society's going, mixed races, you know what I mean? Like when I see an interracial couple, I think they're cooler than me.
Have you ever dated outside of your race?
No, but I wish I had. Like, because I didn't know any better.
Maybe when you have that threesome.
yeah. I'll be like, hey, you know, what's that app, Field?
They're one of our sponsors.
I know. They're one of your sponsors. Okay.
Yeah, we know about Field
I'm
now.
gonna check it out.
What are some dating do's and some dating don'ts that you can share with our listeners? You don't have to have a paragraph of each one, but just give us maybe like 2 do's and 2 don'ts.
Okay, for women, I feel like if you're in your 20s or 30s and maybe even 40s, if you like a dude, you probably got to tell him you like him. Because guys have become, like, the alpha male is starting to go. I don't know.
The testosterone levels are low in the world. I don't know what's happening in the air or the water.
Well, they just got lazy. They've been online dating for years, you know what I mean? And
Everything's
they can just
on the
swipe
fucking
and find a new
internet.
girl. So like, you got to be like, I like you. We should go out again. You know what I mean? Let's kick it again. I had a great time. You're cute. They just got to let them know. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of girls think that that's chasing them. And I'm like, no, you're just letting them know that you're not going to shoot
You're
them
just
down.
giving them a little nibble.
Yeah, for sure.
And what's a dating don't?
A don't. For women?
Yeah. We'll help our good sisters out.
Yeah, a dating.
A lot of people say don't talk about exes, like you're on a first date. And I'm always like, I've never had that issue. You can talk about an ex and it not create an issue.
Okay, I would say don't be too judgmental. Like, I think a lot of girls are like, he didn't walk me to my car. And I'm like, I know, but he got your $200 dinner. Like, could we let it go? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be so damn critical.
You know what's interesting? Because that's actually one that I don't think is critical. If you don't walk me to my car,
or you
I'm probably
didn't get my
not.
valet. It's like they got your, I mean.
The
like,
not getting the valet I
valet
can
is
deal
one.
with. But the not walking me to my car, I'm looking at like, why did you not? And would our marriage be like this?
Are we both not going to the parking lot? What the fuck did you
Where
do?
are you going?
Get it on the helicopter?
I'm a princess, and you better walk me and make sure I'm good.
I'm just saying that, like, I feel like women have these expectations that he didn't stand up when I came to the table.
That's
he
are
gave
you
me a
Queen
sheet.
Elizabeth?
Yes.
Exactly. That's what I said. Anyway, or like, you know, they're just like a certain way they want a man to move. And the reality of it is, like, you know, you were saying the F word and, like, you know, not a total lady.
You were
all
drunk,
night.
man.
You weren't like the perfect date. So just like, you know, give them a
he
little
wanted
bit
to
of
go.
room for not being perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I
Now
mean?
I want to go back to something about your wealthy black male clients that you have.
Yeah.
When they're coming to you, what are they saying they're looking for?
Oh gosh, now you got me drinking. Well, like my biggest frustration with sometimes black men is that they tell me like, I can get a black girl on my own. I want you to get me like this exotic queen, and I'm like, why do you think I know like exotic queens?
Exotic
anyway,
queens.
so that's kind of annoying to me.
It's annoying to us as well.
It's,
Yes.
yeah, okay,
We're
good.
all on the same
yeah,
page.
I mean, yeah, because like, why do they do this? You know, I come to you for something different. That's why I paid you. Like, that's like. You paid
weird
me to get
to
you in a
verbalize
relationship.
that.
You know what I'm saying? Right, not to try out like new flavors of ice cream. You don't know what you're doing.
Right.
You know?
And if you want to try out some new flavors, well, go to Colombia.
Right.
Or go out in the wild and do it on your own.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll realize they're really not fucking with you. Because you're lame.
Yeah. So anyway, I what's very frustrating for me is that I feel like people look at us and they're like, oh, these white girls. And really, I have black guys come to me talking about they don't want to date a black girl because they don't like the way black girls move and seem angry. And I'm like, oh, you're being racist towards your own race. What the hell's happening?
You gotta go.
You know what I mean? Like, and then I have to sort of like get in that. That's messy. That's so, yeah. Anyway.
It's messy. It's uncomfortable.
They tell us all the time. We know.
Yeah, you know, right?
But I'm glad y'all don't deal. I'm glad that you guys let people know that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
And that you're not accepting that type of clientele because that really is ridiculous for
Yeah.
anybody, male or female.
What I'll say is like, so you think every black woman is that way? Like black women, no matter where they're from, every profession, you know what I mean? Like,
I always
would
like to
challenge
take
them
it back
a
to,
little bit.
can you send me a picture of your mama?
Yeah. Yeah.
What happens if a relationship doesn't work and a client is unhappy? Have you ever had people be like, I want my money back?
Oh, all the time.
And do you give that to them?
Not normally, unless I think they're a pain in the ass, and I'm like, here's your money back. You know what I'm saying? But
Get out of my
like,
face.
normally we know enough people to make them happy. You know what I mean? Like, we're pretty well connected. We've had a business for 25 years, so usually we can solve it. You know what I mean? But sometimes, like, you know, we had a client the other week, and we just got the feeling he was thinking we were like an escort service, which we're not. And so here's your money back. You know?
Wow.
I'm surprised he would think that. Like, y'all do a lot of advertising. It's not like on the low. Like, I'm coming out of the airport going to baggage claim and I see a big ass advertisement. This is not an escort service.
Well, like in that, like, you know, you're in your mid 50s, you want a hot girl in their 20s, like, and you're very average and short. You know what I mean? Like, it's probably, here's your money back. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna happen. Yeah.
So when people are paying for the service, are they paying like per match, or is it for the service, we're trying to get you matches? Like, how does that part work? Is it like, okay, $5,000, we'll just say that price, $5,000, we'll find somebody, and then once you go on a date, you got to pay another if this isn't it?
No. So we do this thing, it's called 8 at 8 Dinner Club. It's real fun. I basically believe...
I saw that on the site.
I think that if you make $150,000 or more with a college degree in Atlanta, you should do 8 at 8. It's like too many people... Everybody makes that kind of money and they're all successful. And now we do dinner parties every single week with 2 or 3 different tables of 8. And the socials every month have 100 people or more. And sometimes they can bring friends. So it's like too many people not to give it a try. So anyway, 8 at 8 is 6 dinners, 12 socials, and it's $1,500. So like in that, you're like, do they keep trying? No, they bought that. They bought that package and they just keep going. You get 18 things, hopefully it'll work. And
Does
then
that
like,
package include like their dinner and their drinks for the night?
no, hell no, they're rich.
They're like,
No,
This is
they're
our part. We got y'all together.
$1,500. No, we order them Vuv. I mean, we're going to nice restaurants anyway. But so no, it includes it's buying the dinner party, but the hostesses are there to greet you and tell you a little bit about each other. And like at the mixers, I'm like working my ass off because you know I see like some dude like frothing at the mouth to meet this girl. And I'll introduce her to her. You know what I mean? Like we're working the room. The matchmakers are working the room. So that's what 8 at 8 is. And then matchmaking is generally it's like a package. And ours goes from anywhere.
I want to just chime in really quick. I would love for Kiki and I to attend one, not to take up space and take somebody's man, but just to see what it's like.
Yeah,
it sounds so cute.
Let's do it. Wait, which one of y'all are single? You're off the market though.
Oh, the market, but I'm still gonna come and watch.
And they-
Well,
it's
no,
all
I
good.
am single, so speak for yourself.
show
Talking about
me.
taking
Yeah.
somebody out. I might need to contact y'all and just join.
Because
whether
she
you
said
come
the
or
black
not.
man is there waiting to meet.
But then they want the exotic girl, so I don't know.
Well, that's just what they tell me because they think, you know what I'm saying? Like, they couldn't say that to me if I was a black matchmaker. They think because I'm white, they can say that shit to me. I'm like, what? It's weird. Anyway, what was that? Okay, anyway, when they buy the package of matchmaking, it's a minimum of 10 matches, and there's no maximum, so it's not per match. And I set them up 2 to 3 times a month, and then they get to go to those big socials. So I'm never counting their matches because, like, I have a hot, cool girl. I'm setting her up all the time. It's cool. And then you know I have like an unattractive weird girl. She's going on 10 dates, maybe 11 if she calls me. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like it depends.
Yeah.
That's why it's a minimum of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
And so I'm sorry if I missed this. They have to pay that monthly or no?
They pay up front.
They pay
just
up
buy
front.
the service. Yeah.
They buy the
Just
service and then like you just keep matching them until
6 months of activating, 6 months of hold time.
Gotcha.
A minimum of 10. They go out 2 to 3 times a month and they're going to a mixer.
Okay.
Yeah. if
What's
they
your
want.
success
Not
rate?
so bad.
Sorry. I would say we hear of about 2 or 3 engagements every month. It can be a
Oh,
blend.
engagement's like a marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, like not a party.
I thought she was
Yeah,
talking
like,
about
I'll just-
Instagram engagements. Like,
No, what?
Yeah. No, I'll just call to check on somebody. I'm like, are you still dating so and so? And they're like, actually, we're engaged.
wow.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, a couple
Love to
times, 2
hear
or 3
it.
times a month.
You
Yeah.
know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. There's probably like 700 people between the two different services.
Y'all are like Krispy Kreme, hot and ready.
Yeah.
The people
Yeah.
are hot and ready. They're like, I'm not wasting no time, Franklin.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
like, Franklin, meet Bethany. And Bethany's like, I love him. They don't even know each other. He rich.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Like, because now, I mean, when we first started, like we were hustling, we didn't have the people. But now that we've had a business for so long, we can find this person that they're looking for.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do y'all ever go searching for like, okay, we got this client. He is a good client. We've got to find some people that would be good matches for him. Do you ever do anything like kind of unconventional to solicit clients that would be good matches? What do you do?
I like Facebook them, Instagram them, LinkedIn.
And you act like the client, or like sometimes when you talk for the client, like, hey, baby.
No, I mean, I don't know if I can tell all the secrets. Some of the matchmakers will listen to this, but there's ways to find out who's on the apps and stuff like that, and then we can research more about them and then reach out to them specifically.
You just do your research.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of like headhunting. Yeah,
I think that's
It sounds
smart.
exactly like headhunting. Yeah.
yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
How do you know if someone is ready for marriage? Can you tell?
Yeah. I mean, but you have to, it's just like dating, right? I mean, it's all in how
The girls are getting tricked out here, so.
It's all in how their actions speak louder than their words, right? You know what I mean? Because a lot of these guys can be super smooth or whatever, but if they want an amazing date and they're like, who else do you have? That guy's not ready for marriage. You know what I mean?
And are they ever like, well, Jennifer, you should have caught that for real? Because I feel like I would say something like that. I'd be like, I'm with him. You know I want to get married. Like, why didn't y'all catch this?
Well, I mean, I would say, look, I believe the same thing. But what I would say is, if they really liked him, I would say either he's not ready and I didn't know, and he said he was. He told me he was. He bought the service. Or he doesn't like you that much. So you need to keep dating. You know what I'm saying?
Because you mad at me, and it's like,
Yeah,
girl,
you mad
it's
at
you.
me. You just
Not
like,
him.
maybe he does want to get married.
Seek
It's not
within,
to you.
bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Success stories. I did want to hear one, but I'm not sure if you're able to share one. Are you able to share like a standout success story from someone who brought you on a client and they had like just this beautiful success story that you share with people, or that maybe you use as advertising?
Okay, I guess I can talk to people that like openly tell people. I had this girl. I mean, I'll change her name in case. Okay,
we don't
let's
need
call her
her.
Heather. But like, her mother was dying, and she really wanted to have her future husband meet her mom. And I think that put like a lot of pressure on her, but they didn't meet up for a while. And this was like a good guy. And he was checking on her, and they did one of those things where they bonded before they met. And I just thought it was
sweet.
beautiful. Like, cause it happened, and he met her mother and they married.
Are they still married?
Yeah, they're married. They have a child. Yeah. She may have just had the baby. Yeah. I mean, she's either very pregnant or, and I was really worried about her cause she was, a cool kid about Atlanta who had done reality TV, And I was like, holy shit, when we got her. But, and then I have this other guy, his name's Hal. He tells the world, he's all over Instagram. And, anyway, when he met his wife, she was Mexican, didn't speak English. And that was like a little bit of an adjustment for him. And I was like, I know this
Did
sounds
he
kind of
speak
weird.
Spanish?
No, he
Because I'm
didn't.
trying to, did
And
he
was
say, I
like
don't
an
want my
older-
girl to speak
No,
English?
it's just that a lot of people were like set in their ways about what they envision, right? So what he envisioned was an American woman, right? This woman is like very Latin in the Latin community. And, he just grew to love it and grew to embrace her friends and is all in the Latin community. And I was
just
really like
wanna
proud
meet
of that.
Hal, because I feel like Hal was like, build the wall, and then you're like, try a Mexican woman.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying that I think that was like a really beautiful story too, because sometimes like I'll give, let's say, a white dudes do this all the time. I want to date an American girl, not a Ukrainian girl. And I'm like, have you dated a Ukrainian girl? Like,
Where
you know
did
what
you
I
get
mean?
this
And
from,
they've got
sir?
these rules about like what's going to work and what hasn't. And it's because they've like decided Eastern European women are this way. They might think they're a gold digger or whatever. And that's
They were watching
racist
too
in
much
a way.
90 Day
Eastern
Fiancé.
European women?
Right, or like
Absolutely. Have you seen 90 Day
Fiancé?
That's a
right.
good show.
They live
That's a
in
good show.
Atlanta. That's wild.
Well, I'm just saying that like, that's the reason the story made me, I guess, proud or whatever, because he was able to see the beauty in her and then like sort of embrace the culture. When in the beginning he was like, look, sometimes she gets together with people I don't even know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? And he was a little bit older, and I think that's beautiful too, right? That they grew into it.
Heather sucks good dick.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, I'm not, because I'm really wondering, like, how was the communication at first? He don't speak Spanish, and
Well, she speaks English. But
she speaks English.
But like
It's broken.
No. It wasn't even broken. It's that like her friends were all Latin people, right? And
Okay,
he
so it's
was
like-
a white older dude.
So he's like,
not
what y'all talking
running
about?
around with different cultures. You know what I'm saying?
it's like,
Okay.
And
And
y'all
whereas-
talking about me?
Whereas most, I'm just going to stereotype white older men. They're not like into trying something new.
We know.
You know,
Yeah,
right?
we know.
So and he did, and then now he's
He's
got
like,
this whole
now
new
wait a
community,
minute.
and it's cool. And
We
it's
Got
know
a
that
whole
for
new
him.
life.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. That was
Yeah.
a beautiful success story. All right. On that note, we're going to move on to Indecisive Diane. And when we come back, Jennifer's going to help us give you ladies some advice, or gentlemen.
Okay, you guys, and we're back from Indecisive Diane. If you have a story.
Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? What do you want?
Hey ladies, it's me, Diane, and guess what? It's time for you to travel. Go to paradiseandvibes.com and sign up for Brazil. It's gonna be so much fun. Bring your friends, bring your bae, bring anyone you want, or come alone. It'll be fun. See you there in February. Bye.
Not a story. If you have a question that you would like to ask us and have us answer on the show, please email us at advice@cocktailspod.com.
Okay. This advice letter is titled Ghostbusters. Hey, ladies. I'm a 23-year-old woman. Excuse me. It'd be that rose.
No, because she don't want it.
Never been in love. And when it comes to men or just people in general, I tend to be very hard and nonchalant, even if I adore them. Most exes' complaints about me is that they can't tell whether I actually like them or not. Well, I met a man. I connected with a man on Tinder, and after about 2 or 3 days of texting, we decided to meet up at a smoothie shop. That's an interesting little meetup. We planned a date for later that night. Okay, good. I felt an immediate sense of comfortability with him, so much so that I spent the night with him after our date. We kissed, but it didn't go any further, even though he tried. I live 2 hours away from him, and he lives in the same city as my parents and siblings, so I visit often. A couple of weeks go by, and we have plans to spend more time together. I come to the city, he goes completely ghost. It was extremely abrupt, so I'm thinking something happened to him. After hitting him up for about 2 days, I realized that I have been ghosted, and I try to move on with my life. About a week goes by and I absolutely cannot get this man off my mind. So I decide to hit him up again. He responds and tells me that he apologizes for ghosting me and that he did it because he was afraid of how quickly he was gaining feelings for me. I figured there had to be a reason. Why couldn't I get this man off my mind? So I let the excuses slide and we continued dating like nothing happened. She had a case of delusionitis. I finally decide to give it up, and baby, the dick is immaculate. Oh,
That's
this
what
is
you were
so
holding
bad
out for.
Yeah, but she held out, he ghosted, and then you're like, I'm gonna give
Now
you
I'm going to
pussy.
get on that dick. What?
The sexual chemistry is so intense. This man's body literally intoxicates me. When we have sex, I feel like our bodies were made with each other in mind. Things have been going well since. He brings out a soft, loving side of me that I never knew I had, and I love every moment of it. He is on my mind all the time. When I'm with him, nothing else matters. I'm absolutely smitten. However, I always think about how he ghosted me initially and fear he may do it again. He will, because he gonna give the other girl a little moment
Definitely.
too. He is also 20 years older than me.
No, bitch, you should have led with that. I'm sorry. Let me scroll up. 23. Are you the same girl who wrote the letter last week? Like,
He is also 20 years older than me with 4 baby mamas.
Cut it out.
Oh,
One of his children is 3 years younger than me, but he is fine, y'all. He has money, and the way he lives his life really inspires me to be a better person.
How?
I adore everything about him, except the fact that he has 4 children by 4 different women.
That's a big one.
He says that he is ready to share his life with someone and that he is just as smitten with me, but my age worries him sometimes because he doesn't want to steal my youth from me by tying me down. My question is, should I continue to give in to the gushy feelings he gives me and continue to be vulnerable with him? Or should I just have fun with him and not take this too seriously?
B. Clearly, B.
B, baby girl.
First of all, Miss Mamas, you talking about the gushy feelings he gives you and being vulnerable with him. Stop doing that. If you don't listen to nothing else we say today, stop being vulnerable with him. What's going to happen is your little pop, baby, boo, is going to take what you're saying and he's getting his plan together to keep you wrapped up in this bullshit. You don't want that. And I'm curious,
like
you don't have
this
to tell
baby
me.
mama.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me why, but what is it? Ask yourself this. What is it about his life that inspires you? Is it him wanting to share life and create life with so many different women and he wants you to be the 5th? Like, come on. You don't want that. You know you don't.
Please don't be
There's
sending
so
us
many other people.
another email talking about you are the 5th baby mama, because I'm telling you right now, you is going to be sad and you're in your early 20s. So
There's so many other people.
or like you got to either master the game so this can work to your, they can make you better, but like you're falling in love and I remember when I was young and I was dealing with older men and people would say like older men deal with significantly younger men for a reason. I mean, younger women for a reason. And when you're in it, you're like, no, I'm smart. I'm a woman. You're not.
I'm
You
mature
are
for my age.
an easy piece of pussy. And I'm not even trying to like be mean. That's really what it is. So if you don't have
because you
sex,
accepted all this and nobody up here would.
I'm not about to do
Like
this.
first of all, you ghosted me and I double back, and then I find out more about you, and I'm still confused about the gushy feelings. But
And you hadn't even had sex with him yet.
and you were all excited. It's because he was very handsome, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
You said he
But
had
I
money. It's money. Everybody's led by money nowadays.
There's other people with money. There's lots of people with money who don't have children, and some of them are infertile. You should find them because this is not what you want. Okay, next one. How do I live with myself? Oh, gosh. What's going on in advice this week? The girls are down bad. All right. Let's see what it is. Hey, ladies. I've broken up with my boyfriend of 9 years. I tried to stay as long as I could allow myself to because I really would have liked to get married, but things are just too toxic. Okay, well, I'm glad you ended it. As someone who lost her virginity to him and stayed for 9 years, how do I adjust to being a grown single adult? Oh, hell. Do you know who you wrote into? Okay. I met him at 17 and have never been with anyone else since. Whew. And I'm really scared for myself. I'm scared to be hurt or lied to. I'm scared to get attached. Damn. I know Medinah has shared her experiences with her past relationships, which really inspired me, but I'm very lost without him. Like, I don't even know how to be a woman. Woman has an A. For my own sake right now. I feel like I'm 17 again because that relationship had no growth at all whatsoever. How do I protect myself and men because I'm a hurt, crazy woman fresh on the street? Any positive attention I get from a guy, I eat it up, but they be ugly. I shouldn't worry about guys, but during that relationship, I lost all my friends. Oh, damn. Aww. I lost all my friends and all my confidence. I basically have no life outside of him and my 9 to 5. And now that the weight is no longer mine, I'm just ready to jump into everything head first. Please help. Ooh.
Jennifer, do you have advice for her? Because I'm sure you've gotten people before where they're like, I really want to meet somebody, but I'm not like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm scared and I'm insecure.
I would go out with those ugly guys to make myself feel good.
Jennifer is toxic.
I like you, Jennifer, because you're talking for real.
I got a little
you
buzz
gotta
now.
do it.
I got a little buzz.
But that makes sense because
only
if
laughter.
you're feeling low,
guys, I'm so depressed, but the only guys that like me are ugly. Well, if I was depressed, I'd go with those ugly guys to feel good about myself. I'd get on my sexy shoes and I'd be like, oh, he thinks I'm cute.
Sexy shoes.
Yeah, because if an ugly guy thinks you're cute, a cute guy thinks you're cute too. You know what I mean? You just got to get it back. She's got to just get back to feeling good.
That's what I was gonna say. You
right.
gotta
You don't
get like my good sis Abraham Hicks always says. You got to make yourself feel good, and we can't tell you what that means for you. It might mean dating the ugly guys. It might mean buying yourself something nice. It might mean talking to yourself and selling yourself affirmations. But you have to pull yourself up, sis. We all been down before and heartbroken, and we let a man get the best of us. But there is light on the other end of the tunnel. You just got to fight to see it, for real. Please do it, or you're gonna be sad and depressed. Please.
And remember, girl, you're only 26.
Yeah.
You still got a lot of time.
Yeah,
like
go with your
you're about to
girls.
be at like your best age. So like, I get it. You're going through it, but hey, spend some time with yourself. Like, go out with the ugly guys. Absolutely. Do that shit. You need to. And it's going to help because, like, life is expensive. Like, come on. And then also, I would encourage you to have some time masturbating. I know that I talk about it a lot, but, like, you should do it because also you're very inexperienced. You were with this guy who did you dirty for 9 years, and that was, like, in the formative years of getting into sex. So you had sex with him, and that's it. Like, feel yourself. I know he didn't make you feel that good. I know he didn't. You loved him and you thought that this was forever. Spend some time with yourself. Take a hot bath.
And you're probably really better than him, honestly.
I'm sure you are because he sounds horrible. And even if he wasn't horrible, oh well, fuck him.
And what about her girlfriend? She's got girlfriends, right?
No,
she lost
said
all her friends.
lost all her
and that's
friends.
okay too.
You need to find some girlfriends. Those are better than
Yeah, find some girlfriends. Take
Go
some
with
classes.
those girlfriends.
Get in
Sit
the
at
gym,
the
get
bar.
fine. This is the best time to get healthy. Do a detox because you're probably already not eating because you're sad.
Be on your revenge body shit. All of that.
You gotta do all the things to make you feel good.
Yeah, what
Again.
about that app? What's that girlfriend? Find a girlfriend app. What's that?
I don't know.
Meet
But
up?
No, the BFF app. The girl that did Bumble did this app.
Oh, it's
Bumble BFF.
No, it's Bumble. It's the same app. So you can
Bumble
download
BFF.
Bumble, and if you're looking for friends, it's kind of like LinkedIn, but for friends.
Yep.
And, you know, you just hit people up and hang out. Now, some of those girls, I'm going to tell you, because don't worry about how I know. Just know I know.
They be trying to eat pussy.
Yeah, they just really want to eat your pussy. And maybe you could try that too. But if that's not your thing, there are girls on there because think about it. People go to cities and they relocate for work or for family or whatever, and they're looking for friends. Find a social club. I don't know where you live. I told you guys before there's a group called Black Girls Social Club. Don't know if you're black. But there's that. There's a meetup website. I forget what it's called. Meetup. Yeah, go on there. There's all these, all sorts of different things. Figure out some things that you are interested, want to try, whatever, and try that. And good luck because I don't want you stuck on him.
I don't either. And if you really find yourself so stuck, you don't know what to, every time you're about to text him, DM me or Kiki. I don't mind responding to you and help you out.
I respond to you because you can't go back.
You can't. I can't stand when a bitch be dumb. Just please.
Yeah.
Just send us a
And
message.
I've been very dumb. I just got over it like 2 minutes ago. So like, come on. We'll help you through it.
I think the most important thing is to find your girls.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you gotta make some
girls will bring
girlfriends.
you up and they'll go out and, you know.
And I'm a girl's girl. I love talking to my girlfriends, and I encourage it for everybody. Whether you listen to this and just listen to her advice or you can relate, you've got to have some good girlfriends, at least one or two that you can talk to. And if you don't have them, it's okay, but you can make them. So,
Yeah,
like,
for
work
sure.
on that, and then
And
they'll
they'll go
help
out
you through
with
it.
you. Yeah.
People are always looking for stuff to do. And so on that note, if you guys have more advice that you need us to answer, we'll try our best. Advice@cocktailspod.com, and we will move on to the cocktail.
Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a hoe.
So if you have a cocktail that you would like to share on the show, make sure you email us, cocktails@cocktailspod.com.
All right, Jennifer. Do you have a cocktail?
Oh, a story about me?
Yes.
No, it's sad. As I told you, like the best sex that I've had has always been drunk.
No, you said you were going to tell us your worst date experience.
Yeah. Because I heard your dating story and about where to take you to Applebee's and you couldn't buy that $13 drink or something.
No, that wasn't me. That was a guess.
Oh, that
I
was
was
a
going to
guess.
say, well, you went to Applebee's?
No, ma'am, that wasn't me. That was
No,
a guess.
ma'am.
We probably, I think it was, I can't remember who it was.
You not even going to
No, not you. It was a guess.
It was a guess.
I remember, but
Okay.
it wasn't me. We
'Cause I
probably
was
sounded
like-
similar.
I was like, this is not a bad date. That's like, okay. So, okay, I'll tell some of my my two worst dates
Okay.
ever before I got married. So you would think this would be my worst date. I went out. I met a guy in on Match, and I had him come out and meet up with my co-ed soccer team because I was like, I don't know. I wanted to meet him, and he came out, and then it just was the two of us, right? So he was hanging out. I basically wanted him to meet my soccer team because I hung out with him all the time and wanted them to see what they thought of him. And I should have known, but I was a few drinks in. He was talking about cops, calling them pigs, saying he hated pigs. And I was like, he really hates cops. He must have been arrested a lot. He is mad about them pigs. And I should have known. But, you know, back then I was drunk Jenny. And I got in the car with this dumbass kid. I got in the car with this dumbass kid.
Me too.
And what do you know? He gets arrested. Yeah.
This is why he hates the pigs.
Okay. And they're like, ma'am, you gotta calm down your boyfriend. And I'm like, oh, he hates me.
I don't even know him.
I met him on Match.
I was like, he's not my boyfriend. And I had to walk home. And then he called me from jail the next morning being like, when are we gonna go out again? And I was like, I don't think we can.
Sir, you need to focus on your priorities.
But I think that's
And your
hustling to
probation.
keep trying.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
How long was the walk home?
It was like a quarter mile.
Oh, that's not
But
so
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
That's a lap around the trap.
I'm gonna be mad.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be mad, period.
Yeah, but I may have had to walk home barefoot. I mean, I remember being
Oh,
like,
where'd the shoes go?
because I was like,
She was fucked up.
yeah, I got fucked up. Yeah, and I was like, can't drive.
Yeah. Let's take these shoes off because they
But
hurt.
that wasn't even my worst date. That's why when the girl talked about the drink, I was like, oh, it ain't bad. That ain't a bad date.
So what's the worst one?
The worst date was, okay, so I'm in my 20s, and this guy was like sending sexual innuendos, and I just didn't have a lot of guys do that a lot, you know, because I think I give off like white girl prude vibes. You know what I'm saying? They're like, I know I can't do that to that girl. But this guy did, and I was like, oh, he thinks I got it. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I guess I was flattered. You know
How
what I
was
mean?
he sending them to you?
It was emails.
Okay.
Through Match. And then so I met up with him, and we met up at Fido's, and he showed up drunk. And I was
The
like,
Irish pub.
yeah. And
Ooh.
Buckhead, is it still around? Anyway.
Yes.
Showed up drunk, and he started talking about sucking on my toes and doing me from behind, and I was like, interesting. I really should have taken those signs because this is not going to happen. And like, he is hammered, and he drove here for an hour. And then, but what made me upset is that he got drinks. I bought our drinks, okay? And then he went to the bar to like meet other women, and I like called my girlfriends to come get me
I
because
know you
I've
fucking
been
lying.
drinking. Yeah, that made me cry worse than the guy who had been arrested because I thought the guy who had been arrested was funny. You know what I'm saying?
At least he did something.
Because I called my soccer team and I was like, guess what? A pig pulled that guy over. You know he hated those pigs. It was just a funny story.
Yeah.
But the other guy like made me feel like I was like.
Used.
Yeah, well, it made me feel like I was not cool because I wasn't into sex and him sucking on my toes. And
Yeah,
stuff.
he was probably a weirdo.
Yeah.
He
I
was
mean,
just
he
a
made me feel
creep.
like I was like a sexual, like he made me feel like I was a prude, and I wasn't. You know,
You're like,
I just.
I'll suck your
But
dick in
I
the bathroom.
don't want you to suck my toes. I was playing
Yeah, like
soccer
that
this
it
morning.
went in that way. You're right. Yeah.
Well,
So
those are, you said you didn't have cocktails. You had cock fails, but those are still
Cock
worthy
fails.
on big
It counts.
shows.
Exactly.
We
It
love
happens
it.
to us all. Jennifer, let everybody know where they can find you if you want to be found, and if not, let them know where they can book services.
So I do most interaction through actually LinkedIn. I'm old, you know. I've got kids and stuff. I'm not all over the Facebook
Somebody
and
told
Instagram.
me about LinkedIn.
Yeah.
For
I mean, at least you know you got a job.
Yeah. So I'm always on LinkedIn. So you can hit me up there. It's Jennifer Mayatke. And then the name of the company is just One Matchmaking. So if you're in Atlanta, you can find me there. I know matchmakers all over the country. So y'all have an audience all over the country, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. So I have matchmaker friends. If I can't help them, I can give them good advice for sure.
We want to let you guys know that we are going to gift one of our patrons a free consultation with Jennifer. So if you're interested, send us a DM on Patreon.
Yes. And then make sure you guys first of all, get your tickets to the live show.
Please.
We can't wait to cut up with you guys. We're working on something super special.
Second of all, get your cookbook.
Oh, yes, because again, we don't accept struggle plates. Like, come on, girls.
And third of all, book your trip with paradiseandvibe.com, baby.
Because you know you hate your job. Like, leave.
You know you need a
Take a real
vacation.
vacation. And not just a vacation to Miami. Like, you can go somewhere for real and have a good time. I wish I could come. Anyway, make sure you're following us on Instagram. We're at CockTales Podcast. I'm at Kiki Said So.
I'm at Coffee Bean Bean.
And until next week, you guys,
Goodbye.
goodbye.
Bye.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.
Population.
Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.